Now, Republican Senator John Kennedy out of Louisiana. Sir, good morning to you. Welcome to our coverage. It looks like they're going to do it. What do you think?
Yeah, they're going to probably pass it in the House. I mean, some of the Democrats are, they always talk tough, but then they moo and follow Speaker Pelosi into the chute like cattle. It's a really bad bill. I don't know who at the White House came up with it, but if zombies eat brains, they're safe. I mean, this thing is like when you get rid of the gimmicks, it's like $4.6 trillion. I went broke reading it. We don't even have 5% of that. $2.5 trillion new taxes, $2.5 trillion new debt, federal takeover of daycare, child care, early childhood education, health care, welfare for illegal immigrants. I mean, it's just a festival of bad ideas.
So it's going to kick its way over to the Senate. What's going to happen there among the quote-unquote moderate Democratic senators? You talked to Kyrsten Sinema, you talked to Joe Manchin, you talked to senators from New Hampshire that are considered moderates. They running for cover, or are they going to go for it?
I don't know. I think it's clear that the bill will ultimately be written in the Senate bill. If they had a deal, they would have announced it. And I don't think they have an agreement among themselves, and I don't think they're anywhere close to it.
So the play then today is pass it in the House, let the Senate do its work for the next month or two or more, and then vote on a bill that's smaller than what we're seeing today. That seems to be the playbook.
Well, hopefully smaller and better. But I don't think the Senate's going to finish. Well, back up. I don't think the Democrats are going to get their ducks in a row for another 4 weeks and maybe 12 weeks. Right now, they don't even know where their ducks are. They're having a big fight among themselves, as they should. I mean, this is one of the worst bills I've ever seen.
Well, we did some Fox polling. We put it out last night. I don't know if you saw it or not. We're trying to figure out the priorities of the American people. A lot of the things in this bill are not on that list of the polling we found. Wall Street Journal writes it this way. The Penn-Wharton budget model estimates that this House bill will cost nearly $4.6 trillion over 10 years if the temporary provisions that are put into the legislation are made permanent. How do you swallow that?
Well, here's what I think most Americans are thinking. President Biden calls his bill, I call it Build Back Bonkers. He calls it Build Back Better. I think most Americans are saying, Build Back Better? Look, man, just put it back the way you found it, okay? We're not interested in all this spending and borrowing, which is making us have to get a bank loan to go to the grocery store. That's what's causing all this inflation, and it's going to get much worse after they pass this bill.
It seems as if what they're doing to rely on the revenue is that they're going to empower the IRS at levels we have never seen before.
Oh, yeah, they're going to turn the IRS loose on everybody in America with a beating heart. I mean, it's going to be breathtaking, not in a good way. And I think that's morally wrong, number one. And number two, I think they're going to regret it politically.
But
I mean, I've said this before. This is what we're down to. The American people are looking at all of this, and they're saying, look, the Republicans aren't perfect, but the other side's crazy. This is crazy. This is not the Democratic Party that I used to know.
So I'm just reading from this now. The nonpartisan agency, the CBO scoring that we get, found increased IRS tax enforcement would generate revenue of $127 billion. But yet the White House and Joe Biden is saying it's $400 billion. And the White House last night pushed back against that number. But more to your point about empowering the IRS, they're essentially assuming that a lot of people are cheating right now. Republicans, Democrats, independents. How do you go out and get that money back? Because you're essentially saying, we're going to claw it back on behalf of the federal government.
Well, you do what we've always done. Our income tax system in America, state and federal, depends on voluntary compliance. I think most people comply. Some don't. but our tax collecting agencies always do audits. They don't do them politically, not supposed to. They pick subjects strategically, and then they publicize the audits. And those who want to cheat say, well, I better not cheat, because if I get caught, I'll go to jail. That's the way we've always done it. It works, but that's not what the Biden administration wants to do. They want to turn the IRS into the Gestapo, and I think it's a mistake. I think it's morally wrong and politically stupid.
Senator, thank you for your time. You had quite an interaction yesterday on the nominee to be the comptroller.
Yeah.
How'd that go over?
Well, I just think, I mean, it's clear to me, based on our current records, that the current record that the president has nominated a neo-socialist. And I asked her a question yesterday, and during my time to ask her a question, given that she went to Moscow State University and studied scientific communism, I asked her if she'd ever been a member of the Communist Party. And it took me a couple of questions, but she finally said, yeah. And then Sherrod Brown, my chairman, Senator Brown, went crack-brained on me and tried to stop me from asking questions, and I politely told him to shut up. And I just think the American people are entitled not to know that the president has nominated somebody to regulate our banks who believes, as she said, in getting rid of banks, and she used to be a member of the Communist Party.
Senator, we'll see if she survives. Thank you for your time today. We're watching the floor of the House there.